Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. Good evening to all of you in YouTube land. And yes, this is now the first video I'm doing in my beautiful new chair. Isn't it gorgeous? Look at. It spins. I'm laughing because well, aside from the fact that it's a funny statement, so when I was younger, I remember watching a Tony Award broadcast, and Harvey Fierstein, won a Tony Award for Torch Song Trilogy. And I remember at one point, you know, he had the Tony Award in his hand and he did the spin and he's like, oh, it spins! So now every time I hear somebody say it spins, I always think about that moment. And Harvey Fierstein is a brilliant comedic writer. Anyway, so this video, I actually want to acknowledge Professor Pride, also known as Matt Haslam, who is Professor Pride on the Powered by Rainbows YouTube channel, for inspiring this video. And of course, if you are a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, and or if you are an ally to the LGBTQIA+ community, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel Powered by Rainbows. I will leave a link in the description box, and becoming a member if it works for you financially as well. I'm actually waiting to receive some money from an upcoming client, and then I will happily become a rainbow egghead, is what they're called, on the Powered by Rainbows YouTube channel. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about, and this is especially for those of you who are new to my YouTube channel. So I've talked about this previously, but I want to go into a little more detail. So first of all, I have a very good awareness as to what is involved in being a professional YouTube channel content creator. And make no mistake, it is very involved. It is a very involved process, and it is one that I have decided I do not want to pursue. I do not want to jump all the hurdles, fly through all the hoops, to be a professional YouTube channel content creator. And there are additional reasons for that. The number one reason is that I want to focus on being a full-time professional psychic advisor, a full-time professional psychic reader and energy healer. That's where I want to focus my time and my energy, and that's where I want to receive my money. I don't have an issue with doing surveys on the side when I have free time that sends money to my PayPal.com account. I don't have an issue with that. And I certainly do not have an issue with clients referring clients to me. I love that. But when it comes to where I want to receive the bulk of my money, I want it to be through being a professional psychic reader and energy healing practitioner. I don't want to take a side job. I don't want to do a side hustle thing. I used to do that. And especially by the end of 2020, and really by the last 3 to 4 months of 2020, it became crystal clear to me that I needed to leave the position of employment that I had, which I happily did, number one. And number two, I have my life structured so that I can be a full-time professional psychic reader and energy healing practitioner. And my life is so much happier, my life is so much sweeter. It has its stresses from time to time, it has its challenges from time to time, but I'm not burdened by the stresses of my life, my medical conditions, my personal life, my spiritual life, my professional life, and then job, and then this, and then that. So I am very fortunate, and I am immensely, eternally thankful that my life is structured in such a way that I can do this again. And the fact that this is my first time being a full-time psychic after a full decade, more than a decade actually, but at the very least after a full decade, it just gives me so much peace of mind. I'm just going to say it, and peace of heart. And peace of heart. So that's one thing. Second, for those of you who are professional YouTube channel content creators, I think the world of you. What you do is very challenging. What you do can be very frustrating, especially given YouTube. And this is not a video where I'm going to complain about YouTube. What I am going to say about YouTube is that YouTube has made certain things much more difficult for content creators. Monetization is more challenging for content creators. And through Professor Pride of the Powered by Rainbows YouTube channel, I found out that June changed the game with regards to YouTube content creators. Why? Because shorts, YouTube shorts, are like all the rage now. And YouTube and the powers that be at YouTube, the executives who seem to think they know so much better than the viewers and the channel content creators, decided that they wanted to be in competition with TikTok. Hence the creation of YouTube Shorts. And I was like, that's the bullshit for shorts? And there's this push to do shorts. And I'm not doing it. You know, I did one video, and it was about one of the flame cons that happened to be under a minute. And if you look at that video was recorded well before June of 2022, which means that there were no shorts at that time. But because of the introduction of YouTube Shorts, that video of mine is now classified as a YouTube short. But it was created, it was recorded, and it was uploaded well before June of 2022. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a YouTube short. It's a short video on my YouTube channel. So, there are things that YouTube is not doing to make YouTube channel content creators have it easier. And I see, and I come from a different place when it comes to competition, because I still remember when I first began reading Catherine Ponder's prosperity books, I read that competition is a poverty consciousness concept. And that stuck with me. I don't look at any other psychic reader, no matter who they are, as my competition. And I want to tell you something. One of the things that I love the most, one of the many things I love so much about the Moon, Serpent, and Bone markets is that no other practitioner is my competition. Because I know all too well it's about energy. People go to the reader, the energy healer that they're drawn to. It's just that simple. I don't do Black Friday sales. I don't do Cyber Monday sales. I don't feel the need for it. And I don't feel the desire for it. And I also don't feel that it would help anything. Because people that know me know that they have options. They have options, and they have many options. People who want to avail themselves of my psychic services, they know that they have plenty of options. And they know that I'm not the only professional psychic reader. So, and I have clients, I have longtime clients that have said to me, I cheated on you. I went to somebody else for another reading. I don't have an issue with that. And I don't call it cheating. You went to somebody else because you were guided and led to go to somebody else at that time. But you keep coming back to me, so why am I going to feel upset? Why am I going to feel why am I going to feel insecure about it? There's a phenomenal movie called Love Jones. And Lorenz Tate does this spoken word performance. And at one point he says, fuck your man, I ain't worried about him. And I love that. Because you know why? Because you can go to another reader. Fuck that reader. I'm not worried about him, her, whatever. Because you know what? You're going to go where you're guided and led. You're going to take everything into consideration, and when you feel it's time to avail yourselves of my psychic services, that's what you're going to do. If you're going to go to somebody else's psychic services, that's what you're going to do. It's not competition for me. I don't look at what I do professionally as competition. I can't. I can't put my mind like that. I cannot shrink my mind into a competition, poverty, consciousness concept because my mind has been so expanded by prosperity consciousness. I'm getting a little off topic, so I apologize. But that's the gist of that. And then, I haven't worked traditional business hours since June 2001. And that was because I was laid off from the company where I worked. Although 3 months later, in September 2001, everybody else was laid off. So there are no bitter grapes for me about that. Seriously. None whatsoever. Even the person who laid me off said, "Oh, you'll be fine." And he was right. The branch manager was totally right. He was like, "Oh, you'll be fine." He was right. So professionally, my schedule this week is not going to be the same next week or the week after that. And my schedule, professionally speaking, this week is not the same as last week or the week before that. My professional schedule is always going to be different. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. I've been okay with that for a long time. And I don't know if I could or if I would feel comfortable working traditional business hours. Because what if that made me less available for my regular clients? I have somebody who's been using my psychic services for almost 30 years. Her mother died of COVID-19 in 2020. And I said to her, for the time being, anytime you need a reading, even if it's the same day, I'll make myself available to you. And my intention was, actually my thought was that would be temporary. We're in November of 2022. So it's obviously an ongoing thing. And since the time that I said to her, "I will make myself available to you the same day you contact me," there have only been 2, maybe 3 occasions when I wasn't available the same day. And she was totally okay with it. She was totally okay with it. But except for those 1, 2, or 3 occasions, I've been available for her every day that she contacts me. And I want to keep it that way because you know what? She's still dealing with a lot. And you know what? She's just in the final stages of her mother's estate. The final every other T that needs to be crossed and every other I that needs to be dotted with regards to her late mother's estate. So I'm okay with that. So that being said, I do feel every once in a while this reminder from the great goddess that it is imperative that I upload and publish videos every day. And sometimes that happens and sometimes it doesn't. And I know that between the Moon, Serpent, and Bone 4th annual Yule Festival in roughly 2 weeks, and then being back at Notions and Potions in beautiful Beacon, New York the weekend after that, not to mention the Sacred Solitude period that I'm going to be in from tomorrow, Saturday, November 26th, through next Monday, November 28th, 2022, I'm not going to be uploading videos or publishing videos or even watching to see if my YouTube videos meet with my approval during that 3-day period. So my intention is to upload videos and publish them and upload them as soon as possible, but sometimes certain things take a back burner. And when it comes to meeting with clients and when it comes, whether it's in person privately, by video privately, by phone privately, by email privately, or at public venues like the Moon, Serpent, and Bone markets and Notions and Potions, sometimes my YouTube publishing schedule is going to be put on the back burner. And it has been, because this period of September through to the following March has been especially abundantly full for my professional psychic practice. And besides, I'm more interested in people watching my YouTube videos saying, "You know what, I love his vibe, I want to use his psychic services." That means more to me than anything else. That means so much more to me than anything else. And that will always be my priority. Not doing the hurdles and hoops to become a YouTube channel content creator, not operating on a schedule that YouTube executives are like, well, you must do this to get our perks, to get the perks that we offer YouTube channel content creators. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So that's a little bit about that. I didn't want to like do too much about that. And you know, the 15-minute timer did go off. I do realize that. So I'm going to wrap this video up now. But I just wanted to give some of you that background. I definitely want to thank Matt Haslam, also known as Professor Pride of the Powered by Rainbows YouTube channel, for a great special event. I've never been able to attend his live streaming video, so I was so happy that I was able to do that today. And I was so happy that I learned so much about his business, his YouTube, the professional side of his YouTube channel, that he's a published author. I didn't know that. And some of the challenges that he's had with UPS as a United Parcel Service that he has not had at all with USPS, United States Postal Service. So if I begin shipping products, I know I'm not going to UPS. I'll tell you that right now. Oh. And definitely the comments from everybody else in that live video that have helped me so much. So if you are, like yours truly, a member of the LGBTQIA+ community, I highly recommend you subscribe to Powered by Rainbows. It is a very educational, very informative channel. And if you have the means to become a member, please do so, because that will help that channel out a whole lot more. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos. And of course, a big and beautiful thank you to those of you for the likes, for the comments, for the shares, and for the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, thank you to those of you who have scheduled your sessions. And I can already feel a private reading coming between now and next Wednesday. I don't know who it is yet, but it's coming. And of course, have a beautiful weekend. Get as much rest as you can, and stay tuned for the next video.